back. A young man named James lived in a deserted village. He was an educated person who did business in the surrounding areas. He had a beautiful wife and an adorable son in his family. But he was not happy with his life. Now and then, he had to face a new problem in life. He always used to get worried and kept thinking about the problems. Once, a saint from a distant city came with a caravan of 100 camels outside his village and decided to stay there for a few days. Soon, there were talks all around the nearby villages that Saint solves people's problems with his wisdom. People began to reach him with their problems. James also came to know about this, and he also decided to visit the saint. When James reached the place, there was a massive crowd of hundreds. After waiting a long time, it was James's turn to meet the saint. He asked Saint, "Holy man, I am very unhappy with my life. The problems surround me constantly. Sometimes the business tension is there. Sometimes there are family problems. And sometimes I am worried about my health. Please tell me such a solution that all the problems from my life end and I can live happily." Saint smiled and said, "Son, it is very late today. I will give your answer tomorrow morning. But will you do a small thing for me?" James agreed to do what was needed for the saint. The saint said, "Look, son, there are 100 camels in our caravan. The caretaker of them has fallen ill today. I want you to take care of them tonight. Just ensure that all the camels sit down and take proper rest. When all the 100 camels sit down, you can also sleep." After guiding James, the saint went to his tent. The next morning, Saint met James and asked, "My son, I hope you had quality sleep last night." James felt miserable and replied, "No, I could not sleep even for a single moment. I tried a lot, but could not make all the camels sit down." Saint smiled and said, "I knew this would be the case. So far, it has never happened that all these camels sit together." James asked in anguish, "Then why did you ask me to do this?" Saint replied, "Son, did you notice what you experienced last night? No matter how much you tried, all the camels did not sit together. If you had ensured the camels on one side had sat, then, on the other side, you would have found few others standing." Saint continued, "Similarly, when you solve one problem, then for some reason or other, you will find problems keep coming in life. As long as you will live, these problems will keep arising, sometimes less and sometimes more." "So what should we do?" James asked curiously. Saint replied, "Despite these problems, learn to enjoy life. If you noticed what happened last night, many camels sat down by themselves. For many of you had to put in some effort. But many camels did not sit even after your enormous efforts." James confirmed that precisely the same happened last night. Saint smiled and said, "And if you went back after some time, you would have found that some of the camels who did not sit even after your lot of efforts have now sat themselves." James replied, "Yes, it happened last night." Saint asked, "Did you understand something from this?" James had no answer and was looking towards Saint with curious eyes. The saint continued, "Problems are like camels. Some problems get solved themselves. Some get solved when you put in some effort. And some problems do not get solved, even after trying your best. Trust the timings of your life and leave such problems on time. At the right time, these problems themselves will come to an end." James was stunned by the camel-sitting metaphor. Now, He had an altogether new perspective on the problems of life. Moral of the story. As Saint mentioned in this short motivational story, if there is life, then some problems will always exist. But this does not mean you keep thinking about them all day. If that happens, then the caretaker of the camels can never sleep. Put your best efforts to solve the problems. Even after your best efforts, if a few problems are not in your control, keep such problems aside and enjoy life. Mindfully live life and have peace of mind. When their time comes, those problems will be solved themselves. Learn to thank God for the blessings He has already given. Suffering will diminish itself.